Hello everybody! Halloween is one of the greatest days of the year. When you're a kid, there's nothing better than being encouraged to go out and stuff your face with as much candy as you can get your hands on. Halloween is of course a good time to scour the neighborhood for a bag full of sweets for absolutely free, although you're not always given the good stuff. As a kid, you're often given exactly what you don't want. 13 worst Halloween treats ever. Goodin plenties. There are some people who like black licorice, but for many others, and for many kids who haven't grown into the taste yet, it's nasty. Not to mention that Goodin plenties are a tease. Colorful pink and white candy shells, and then this terrible hell flavor underneath. Licorice all sorts also fall into this category. Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls are ostensibly chewable, but by the time they make it to your candy bag, they become a jaw-destroying nightmare. The damage they do to your mouth isn't worth their taste, which resembles chocolate in the sense that roadkill resembles filet mignon. The manufacturer's website states that the recipe for Tootsie Rolls calls for part of the previous day's batch to be included. The same philosophy must apply when they're sold at Halloween, because every Tootsie Roll ever eaten tastes like it's at least a year old. Baked goods. They look scrumptious and were usually given to you by the sweet little old lady who lived down the lane. But if you were born after 1970, you weren't allowed to eat them, and your folks just threw them out for fear that those gooey Rice Krispie squares or homemade fudge or candy or caramel were filled with razor blades and or poison. Definitely one of the worst treats you can receive. Smarties. Combining low-quality artificial fruit flavors with the taste and texture of chalk, Smarties are what people buy when they want to give out candy but don't want to go over their budget of 7 cents a handful of lint. Each piece costs a fraction of a penny, and kids would rather you give them that money than this treat. Usually you see the streets littered with these the days after the 31st. Mr. Goodbar. The evil stepchild of the Hershey Miniatures pack. Now, whether or not you like nuts and chocolate combined, these yellow goofballs just never quite worked. They always tasted like two separate taste treats thrown together, unlike better chocolate peanut combinations, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and Butterfingers. This bar is a real disappointment for kids these days because they're probably expecting much more. Apples. Now, you might think this falls under the same category as razor blades and poison, but believe it or not, they are actually worse. Probably not, but you know what I mean. Apples as a treat just stink. As a kid, you don't want to go out for hours trying to fill your Halloween bag with candy and come home with a bunch of apples when you most probably eat fruit every single day anyway. Money. Okay, so yeah, at first money seems cool, even if you figured you could save it and buy candy from the candy counter at your local corner store. But you never got more than a couple of stray nickels or even pennies from the really cheap and evil people. It's never really enough to buy real candy, usually just enough coins to annoy you at the end of a great night out. Jolly Ranchers. They stuck your teeth together until you thought that you'd have to go to the dentist to pry them apart. Way too much work for way too little candy. And the grape ones just tasted strange. Not quite cough medicine, not quite candy, just some kind of weird, messed up random flavor that for some reason some company decided to produce. A definite no-go for us come the 31st. Necco wafers, Smarties. We don't even know where to start. These were like eating pastel-colored dust formed into little round discs. Not nearly sweet enough and flavorless, these cheap powder pellets were weak at best, tasteless at worst, and just cluttered the bottom of your treat bag. If you're an adult watching this video, please, for the love of God, don't give these out to kids this Halloween. Generic Lollipops. A Tootsie Pop or equivalent could be a somewhat pleasurable treat. At least you're working towards getting either a Tootsie Roll or bubble gum on the inside after all your efforts. But these crappy little teeny lollipops were just the worst. They tasted like old shoes. Another treat not to give out this year at Halloween. It might just result in a trick. Mary Jane's. What exactly were these? Toffee, peanut chews, sawdust? To the best of my recollection, they were some kind of molasses concoction. But for anyone born after the days of Little House on the Prairie, the big treat was taking hot molasses out and throwing it down in the snow to cool in order to make candy, and, well, these were a huge disappointment. Don't be giving these out either on the 31st. They are just horrible. Gift certificates. Did anyone's parents actually let them use these? Okay, so if anyone is nice enough to give these out on Halloween, you should be at least a little bit wary. Most of the time, kids got gift certificates on Halloween for local stores. Parents weren't quite sure whether or not they should let their child use them. But even if the intention was to let you use them, no one ever remembered to do so, and they were found months later after they expired. No candy. Apples, toothbrushes, pennies, the condoms the one creepy guy gave out. Nothing is worse than getting something other than candy on Candy Day. Yes, it's important to get kids eating fruit and brushing their teeth, but come on. It's Halloween. People who give out toothbrushes miss the point of the holiday. That's worse than getting a pair of socks on Christmas. Well, almost. That's it for this video. Please leave us a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for future videos just like this one. Thanks for watching and have a great day.